make sure you hit that thumbs up button. All right, make sure you are subscribing to the channel as well. All right, and make sure you're showing up for film study this week because I know you guys are going to be intrigued. Be intrigued as to what the hell happened yesterday. So let's do it. Let's talk turnovers. I mean, let's talk Georgia and Florida. Georgia pulls this one out 34-20. Not to give away too many trade secrets in case the ops are watching today. But, I mean, you can do it. We all do it. It's competitive space. I'm going to do it better. I'm going to go through every single one of Carson's interceptions on film this week. Tomorrow morning, we'll have that ready by noon, I would imagine, tomorrow. I watched them all today. And to be honest with you, to this point in the season, most of his play, not just the interceptions, most of his play as somebody that I think you guys come to for explanations or at least diagrams, like show you what's happening. When I watch it, I think all of his play up until this point, for the most part, has been really explainable. Like I can go through it and I can say, okay, he did this because of this, even without being in the room. This happened because this happened, right? I'm going to walk through some of these later, but most of it, it's about 90% of his play this year has been really explainable. Not excusable, explainable. There's a difference there, and I think some people think it's excuse making, but it's football. It's what it is, right? Things happen, and you have to explain why they happen. All right, so most of it has been really explainable, right? It's been wide receiver drops. It's been wide receivers busting routes, not being where they are supposed to be. And, of course, it's been some bad decision-making, and particularly, which shouldn't be the case, I expect quarterbacks to make bad decisions every once in a while. I do not expect this quarterback to make bad decisions and be inaccurate. That's not what he's allowed to do. All right, he's got to be perfect in those departments to be who he is, right? The first rounder that we all entered the season thinking and knowing he's caliber of being, right? But most of the complaints, in my opinion, leading up to yesterday, at least, weren't exactly warranted, but like I said, they were explainable, right? The overreaction entering yesterday, I thought was a little bit goofy. However, yesterday, I'm gonna be honest with you. They're gonna tell you the third one was tipped. I saw the all 22. I didn't like where that one was going either. They're trying to run a double move to Dominic Blaylock or Dominic Lovett. Whoa, CTE brain. They're trying to run a double move to Dominic Lovett down the middle of the field. Hey, bro, safety's right on top of it. Like if it's completed, it's big shot. Like the safety's going to hit Dominic Lovett really, really hard. I didn't love the third one. All right, and yeah, it was tipped and he was hit and it got up. But if you go look at that, when it was thrown, how it was thrown, the coverage of it, it wasn't exactly going to be a home run hitter. It wasn't a great decision. And you know the first two interceptions were not great decisions either. It looked, the first one was just a complete, it's open now. I don't like it. I'm getting off of it. I'm going to come right back to it. Like it's the same thing happened in the second interception too. I don't love that we're forcing footballs. I don't love that we're late, all right, on locations either. Both of them, again, I would go all three. All three of them very, very inexcusable, okay? But here's where it's really, really tricky to me, right? Here's where it's really tricky to me as the guy who spent all offseason watching the quarterback last year complete 73% of his balls and having a sense of like, ooh, man, are we driving this offense as fast as we can? Right? Are we pushing the ball? Are we pushing the measures of this Lambo, right? Are we driving it into the corner and hoping it sticks hard, right? Because that's what you can do at Georgia when you have the weaponry. And it's going to come a time when you play a really good football team where we really got to push the levers of this thing. We got to go. And I would say all offseason, and even at points this year, I was like, hey, man, check down Charlie, got to go. Have some Lambo confidence, right? Have some of that I'm the guy confidence because you're really, really talented. And then we watched the last several stretch of football games, and all of a sudden we're like, "Hey, bro, you need to check the football back down, right? You need to start taking more care of it." And I said it yesterday in our reaction our recap coming off of the field, and I love doing those because it's the immediate thoughts right as I leave, and I still share the immediate thoughts. You've got to find a happy medium between that window is a little bit open. I'm gonna trust myself to rip it. And I'm going to give my guy a chance. When you give your guy a chance in clouded windows, everybody else got a chance too. All right, I want to see I can make that throw when it's tight windows, not when it's three guys up underneath. You obviously didn't see the hook defender, and you throw it right into his face. Okay, so those are the things, man, that's just inexcusable. Okay, when you play like that, when you play bad, and your stat sheet says 11 interceptions, and I can go through them, right? I can say, look, one versus Alabama was like, holy shit, why are you throwing that to Jahad Campbell? What are you doing? That was one. The other two, very excusable or very explainable. I will show you that on the tape tomorrow. Arian Smith busts on a screen route, all right? And Colby Young, I don't think runs the right depth of route on the interception to end the football game, okay? There's one tipped pass against Mississippi State and one that he claims was a pass interference, all right? And he was throwing it on purpose at the pass interference in hopes that he would get the call. So there's what, already 5 interceptions, all right? The sixth one, the first one against Texas, I think it's a great play by Makuba. And by the way, I'm going to show you on tape tomorrow, he learned from the lesson. He has that pick against Texas. He has a very similar play against Florida, stares at the safety to make sure it doesn't happen again, and absolutely rips a piss missile. Okay, so he's growing from some of these mistakes as well. One bad miss against Texas led to an interception. Y'all know that one, the loss in lucky ball. And then one, again, another bust by Arian Smith. And 2 just absolute, what are you doing, interceptions against Florida. And again, I think it's a bad decision to even attempt to throw the ball on the hit and tipped pass against Florida again yesterday. So I can go through all of these and I can explain most of them. But when the interception tally right now, and you're a Georgia quarterback, says 11 interceptions, all right, and they've come in big football games, and it's multiple interceptions in multiple big football games, then criticism is warranted, all right? So you're not going to find nice things on social media about you right now, all right? No one is if you're in that position. That being said, why do people talk about this man the way that they do on social media? At least with Stetson, y'all call him old, y'all call him washed, y'all call him a walk-on, y'all call him a bum. Y'all are the most disrespectful versions of your shitty-ass selves when you talk to this man like y'all do on social media. And again, I know, very minority portion of the fan base, buddy, it's on my timeline left and right with thousands and thousands of likes. Thousands and thousands of likes. So I don't like it. I don't love it. But again, the criticism of his play as of late is warranted. How you talk about that criticism is not. I think it's pretty gross. Defensive grades, 100% incomplete. 100% incomplete. We know what the deal is. I'm not some guru football analyst coming to the microphone telling you that the offensive performance from Florida was totally different the moment DJ Lagway got hurt. Duh. So we can move on. Now, what I will not do is play what ifs, nuts, candies, and butts. I'm not going to do the, well, Florida would have. No, let's not do that one. However, it was very obvious that the offensive game plan from Florida completely changed, right? Completely changed. Also, holy shit. Did you guys see the videos of the cops? I want documentation of lawsuits, okay? I don't know if we got lawyers up in this joint watching tonight, but we got some police brutality out here. Some police brutality. If you haven't seen these videos, take the time out of your day. Go watch them. Go watch them, unless you're a little squeamish. One older Florida fan, I mean, just getting wailed on by a cop. I'm talking about 7 over-the-top hammer fists. Bow, 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 bow. Kicking the shit out of this man. I'm like, what did this man do? What did he do to make these people so mad? And then I see the Upper Decker video. If you ain't seen the Upper Decker video, my God, the Upper Decker video is crazy. Cop pulls out a taser, tases Georgia fan. Georgia fan ain't taking none of it, just ripping the wires off. Then all of a sudden, cop pulls out the handcuffs, uses them as freaking brass knuckles, starts just wailing on man's face. Lawsuits everywhere. Jacksonville PD, you might cost them the neutral site game because they might not be able to pay these out. I'm telling you right now, there was some resisting. I'm not going to lie to you. There was obviously some you ain't arrested my ass today. That being said, wow. Probably a way to handle that one without I think it was the brass knuckles that probably got him. The one up in the top. I ain't got no excuse for the one down in the bottom. Maybe I'm wrong. So, yeah, let's talk about